In this video, I'm going to expose you to the silver bullet strategy. This isn't just any strategy. This one completely changes lives. And once you actually have this completely down, you will become a master at actually using these strategies. So first of all, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to get straight into it. You only trade within the London kill zone, which is from 7 a.m. until 11 a.m. on a 5-minute time frame. Okay, we need to mark out the highest point and the lowest point of Asian session. Is the highest and the lowest point. So what we're going to be getting started on is doing this straight away. So I'm going to just mark out the highest point of Asian session, and this will be here the lowest point of Asian session. Okay, so you actually need to use this indicator because it marks out your Asian session, London session, and New York session, and I will give you the name of the indicator at the end of the video, so make sure you watch all the way until the end. Anyway, what we need to do next is very, very crucial. We need to look and identify which part of price actually gets liquidated first. Is it the highs or is it the lows? So if I play price forward now, you can see it's going towards the downside or towards the upside, whatever. This is the most important bit, because most of the people would have missed this out and said, oh, I didn't go all the way to the bottom and sweep the lows. But as you can see, this is going in a very, very steep uptrend, right? And the uptrend that is going in actually took out this high right here, and we can see clearly that I took out the highs and then it came back to take out this fractional low right here. You can see that this is a very, very strong point of liquidity because the wick goes so down and then so much buying pressure came in and pushed price up from that wick. So this actually will be a low sweepage, right? So as soon as we got the low sweepage right here, this is what we're going to actually be using as our lows liquidity. So we're going to delete this right now and I'm going to zoom in. Right, so as soon as we actually get this low liquidity, what we need to do next becomes very, very important. We need to find a breakage of structure where fractional highs / lows have completely been swept, and then we reinforce our market structure shift within a golfing candlestick only if it's possible, right? So what I need to do now is find a breakage of structure towards the upside, right? So if I play price forward, you could say that this is one, but it isn't, because you can see the wick right here completely swept the candle, which gives us no space for a fair value gap. So if I play price forward more and more, you can see right there, okay, we just got a very, very good breakage of structure, and this is exactly what we will actually be using as our market structure shift, right? So as soon as we got a market structure shift, what we need to do now is mark this out. This will be our market structure shift, and let me explain to you really quickly how fractional highs actually work. So fractional highs, they work in a way which is very, very crucial for you to understand. So this is the first candle, this is the second candle, and this is the third candle right here. Okay, so let's say we have 3 candles, and as you can see, the 3 candles are very, very in different shapes, different sizes of wicks or whatever. You can see that the middle candle is the highest one, which is what we would usually use as our fractional high, because the candle before it and the candle after it did not go above this one. If it went above it, this would not be the fractional high anymore, and it will be this one. Okay, that's all you need to actually remember about this. So candle before this one is not above it, and neither is this one, right? So as soon as we do get this, what we need to do next becomes very, very crucial. We need to find and identify a fair value gap, and then we overlap the fair value gap with a market structure shift for a higher probability. I need you to take a guess and guess where the fair value gap could actually be, right? And as you can see, it's very clear that the fair value gap is this right here, right? So as soon as we get the fair value gap, I'm going to mark it out, value gap. Once we do get the fair value gap, what we need to do from here on out becomes very, very simple. We just need to enter our position. All we've got to do is execute the trade. But just before that, I've got the craziest thing that you can do to completely change your life if you're actually serious about trading, right? And this isn't for everyone. It's only for the people who are actually serious and want to get funded, want to get payouts. Okay, you can see right here. Right, Jacob is only 22 and he's made $10,000 with us in the month of April, and you can do the exact same thing, right? So this is what he did. He joined MSPass. We covered 25% of his account cost. We passed his phase 1 and phase 2 in 5 days, and then we managed his account for 4 months. Right, this is what we did. Manage the account for 4 consecutive months, and we got him 4 different payouts. But this is one of the payouts. Right, he gets to keep 70%, we only take 30%. There's a few spots left, and we also get real results from FTMO and Expert Elite funds. So make sure you join the first link in the description, because there's only 5 spots left. Right, there's only 5 spots available for May, so you need to do this as fast as possible. But what we need to do from here is actually enter our position, place in our stop loss just below the first candle after FVG, and place in our take profit at the 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. Right, as soon as we do all of this, what we need to do now is actually play price forward right there, and you're gonna see how price entered right there and it's completely smashed take profit. You can see it's barely entered by a single wick, and this is all we need to actually validate this strategy actually working and being the best strategy out there, and for it to actually pass your profit account, make you profitable, right? Because it's a very, very good runner. Right, so this is what we was expecting. Let me go back over this and then I'll show you the strategy on a fundamental level. So the first thing is, number one, this is what we did. We looked at Asian session liquidity, right? So we looked at Asian session liquidity. You can see that the lows right here have completely been swept, right? So we can check this off. After that, what we looked for is a breakage of structure, BOS. We looked for a breakage of structure, which is also known as a market structure shift, right? That's what we looked for, and then we got a market structure shift, and you need to make sure that it is actually within fractional lows slash highs, right? So that's what we made sure that we actually do have a fractional high slash a fractional low. In this instance, we had a fractional high, which is very, very good. And as soon as we actually got that, all we've had to do is get a fair value gap. And then after we got a fair value gap, all we've got to do then is literally just enter the trade, right? Enter the trade, place our stop loss just below the first candle of the FVG and smash, take profit. I'm going to give you my indicator name right now because it's a very, very crucial indicator for you to use. It's actually called Asian Session Range, right? For all of you guys you're asking in the comments, it's called Asian Session Range, right? I'm going to show you the strategy on a very fundamental level, but we're not going to use any checklist or anything like that. So you're going to be waiting for Asian Session to do whatever it wants. Once it gets to your specific trading time, this is what you need to do: highs and the lows too, right? So you mark out the highs and you mark out the lows. As soon as you do both of them, what you need to do from here on out is wait for price to actually take out one of these two areas. Let's say you took out the highs in this example, right? If it takes out Asian Sessions highs, I'm gonna just mark this out as our highs being taken. And once it does take out the highs, what we need to do from here on out becomes very, very crucial. All we're looking for is the breakage of structure, right? The breakage of structure, the market structure shift towards the downside. So we're looking for a movement like this, where it actually breaks on itself, it gives us a fractional low, and then it gives us the market structure shift with it. So this will be our MSS. And as soon as you do that, all you've got to do is actually figure out where your fair value gap is, which will probably most likely be with the market structure shift, and we would go for the extreme fair value gap. And as soon as we do get that, all you've got to do is enter your position, right? You enter your short position, making sure the stop loss is above the highlighted area, and you smash your take profit at a 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, right? Whatever. And now all you've got to do is wait for price to actually come back into this area, bounce off of this FVG, and completely go down and smash take profit. This is what actually pushes the needle within trading, and you need to start using the strategy now. Let me tell you the pairs that it works on. So it works on EURUSD, it works on GBP USD, it works on NAS 100, it works on S&P 500, and it also works on XAU USD, which is gold, right? So let me just make this clear. So it works on all of these pairs, right? And today we used it on GBP USD. We're on the actual London time zone right here. You could change it into New York, but it's a very, very hard strategy to learn in New York, right? So as soon as you get all of this down, you will completely be able to smash your take profit, get trades like this, and completely win within the trading game, right? Because this is an amazing strategy. Anyway, make sure you join the first link in the description, and if you want my mentorship, it will be the second link in the description. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Everyone, take care.